Time for Media Watch now. James Creedon said to me earlier on, we've got to talk about the polls. I'm thinking, well, what's going on in Warsaw that's that interesting? Then I realised it's the opinion polls, and it's here in France. James, take it away.
Polls with a non-capital P.
Got it.
The small p, that's the word. Okay, so we'll talk about the polls because it's been a headline today, in fact, in France. The fact that Nicolas Sarkozy, for the first time, edged ahead of François Hollande in the first round of the upcoming election in the polls. Because in the second round, François Hollande is still far ahead, miles ahead. So let's have a look here on the Paris Match website, presidential election in real time. Now, do you know every single evening at 6 p.m. you can log onto their website and get the most up-to-date poll result? This by Ipsos, because there's Ipsos and there's all sorts of other polling agencies. As a number of people have been saying today, including Marcus Carlson, this country is a bit mental when it comes to polls. They're more my words than his, but in any case, it's true that there is an obsession with polling in the run-up to a presidential election. Here you have Paris Match, talking it up. Except later in the day, TNS, another polling agency with an agreement with e-Télé rolling news channel, they came out with a very contradictory set of figures, with François Hollande 4 percentage points ahead of Nicolas Sarkozy. So, where is the truth in all of that? And indeed, Le Point magazine point out, sondage, la grande confusion.
How would you translate that?
Polls, the great confusion.
I think that's very good, actually.
I think it pretty much sums it up. I don't need
Some of them seem to be misleading, but if you see that sort of Sarkozy, Hollande sort of neck and neck thing with Marine Le Pen, now a candidate from the National Front, if she doesn't get through, her 60% will probably go with Sarkozy and he'll win.
Well, I suppose it's difficult.
That's my prediction.
It's difficult to know. And in fact, what one Sarkozy insider by the name of Patrick Buisson said today to the Le Monde website, he said, look, there has been a tendency by the polling agencies to underestimate the number of people who are going to turn out for the second round of elections. And in fact, he thinks that there's going to be a much higher turnout in the second round of elections than they think. So he thinks that all of these polls are based on a sort of a misconception. In any case, a lot of analysis of that. And as this particular person on Twitter is saying, every half day brings its new poll. And really, what are we learning? Probably not a huge amount about what actually is going to happen.
Okay, show us the pictures of Julia Sarkozy.
Well, you know what? I won't actually, because no, this is a controversial enough issue, right? Because a Belgian website came out with these photos this afternoon, and look what is left of the website now.
Error, item not found, back to the gallery.
That's not my error. That is that website which has taken down the photos. It's a website by the name of DHNet, a Belgian website which came out with these photos. They were sort of, on social media, etc., but now they have disappeared. So all you have now is, older photos dating back to October, not long after the child was born. Now, in any case, several commentators have been saying, including this guy, Bruno Roger Petit, he said, were these photos that appeared on a Belgian website of young Julia Sarkozy on a visit to the paediatrician, was it a big manipulation? Were they trying to kind of create a bit of, I suppose, controversy around these photos of her face? Because we still haven't seen a photo of this child's face, even though she's several months old now. And even the photos being taken down off the website, is that part of a broader piece of political theatre?
Now, it was Carla Bruni, the mother, who said that the child will not be subject to media, will not be photographed, all this kind of thing, to protect the child.
Right.
Is this writer suggesting that somewhere in the Sarkozy mechanism, someone is trying to throw this forward as a view to sort of either get public sympathy for, oh no, they've taken away my child's anonymity, or, oh, isn't she a lovely baby, I'll vote for her dad.
What people have been saying too is these photos appeared on the website, on the internet, on the same day that Nicolas Sarkozy edged ahead for the very first time in the polls for the first round. So that timing got some people talking and some people speculating that it might have been a sort of piece of political theatre. But then the photos were taken down. So.
Okay, let's move on and talk about underpants.
We do like to talk about underpants. Let's give the context first.
Go ahead.
Le changement c'est maintenant. Let's roll
the socialist thing. Le changement c'est maintenant.
It changes now. Okay. And I think we have the pictures here. It's a sort of a hand movement with a slogan. And it was, you have a lot of socialist luminaries, various people here. I think you have Jacques Lang coming up in a second, former cultural minister. There he is. And it was meant to be a sort of a jokey way of creating a viral video and getting people talking about the fact that the socialists want to bring in change.
And what has this turned into, James?
It's turned into underpants. So you've got an underpants manufacturing company based in Dordogne, and they are very happy to use the Changement c'est maintenant as a means of marketing their French-made, made in France underpants Changement de slip, the change of underpants, is now. And indeed, you know, you can't argue with that. It appears to be the case in that particular ad. But very clever marketers for them, actually, because they've managed to jump on the Made in France bandwagon, which is a big, you know, detail in this election campaign, and also that particular slogan.
And the underpants were red, socialist. James, thank you very much indeed. James Creedon with Media Watch. Stay with us, more news to come.